So you're wondering what a day in the life of a virtual student would be like. Well, a lot of people do before they jump into virtual schooling. I can tell you the key to a successful virtual school experience is that parent and teacher and student connection. Parents serve a very important part in the virtual school process. That is that of the learning coach. We ask the parents in kindergarten through fifth grade to be there for their students. And once you see the inside of a classroom, you'll understand what I mean. Students need to set a schedule with their parents Monday through Friday. If it's a typical school day, school week, then you need to say, from 9 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock, I'm going to work in math Monday through Friday. 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, I'm going to work in science. I'm going to take a break for lunch and have a written school schedule up, posted somewhere in the school setting, that you've chosen in your house. The schedule can vary because of doctor's appointments or vacations and that sort of thing, and that's the beauty of virtual school. You have the freedom. But the problem is the negatives of virtual school is you have the freedom. So you really want to make sure that you've set a schedule and really keep by it so that student knows that every single day at 9 o'clock, a bell's not going to ring at home, but you're going to ring, and you're going to say, okay, we're now going to start working on this or that, that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and take a look at what a typical day might be like. We'll go ahead and take that student that I was alluding to earlier that will get up on Monday morning, have breakfast, get going with her day about 9 o'clock, let's say. So if 9 o'clock is the day that they would, or the time that they would start, they would actually come to clayvirtual.net, click on login, and then they would log in to their course, and they'd probably see something like this. And this is a screen that comes up right as the students log in. And what it is usually is a note from the principal. Oftentimes it's morning announcements or something that he wants to share or talk to you about. Then also it would be his or her classes listed here. Because I am the distance learning specialist for Clay Virtual, I have several. So you're seeing lots and lots of classes. But you would typically go into fifth grade homeroom if you were a fifth grade student, and we're going to go ahead and assume that. Once you click there first, every single day, you've clicked into homeschool homeroom, then you're done. You can click from homeroom into any of your classes. So we'll click into homeroom. That has registered you as being in attendance with with school. And then you would go to your classes and see how your classes are listed again inside your homeroom class. Now remember, I have quite a few classes because I'm monitoring a lot of different students. But we're going to be a fifth grade student, and the fifth grade student would probably see art, language arts, math, reading, science, and PE is the electives there. So at this point, we're going to run real quick and go into a grade 5 math class. We're going to try to pop real quickly into each one of these so you get an idea of what it would look like. One of the first things that the teacher might ask you to do is to click into Flight Plan. Inside Flight Plan, your Flight Plan is the week quarter 2 Flight Plan, and this would be a schedule of what your week would look like. And in this case, we'll just go into the week 2.1. And it's going to open up into a PDF, and this is your plan for the week. This sets the course for math. What I would do as a mother is I would father, learning coach, I would print this out and have it posted on a bulletin board or in a notebook so that my child could then, if they're working on the problem of the day for day 1, I could have my initials there, or I could have them do a check mark, in that spot. Problem of the day for day 2, 3, 4. This also tells you where you'll find that. And it'll make more sense once we get into the course. And then there are checkpoints. There's items that you would do each one. Check reasonableness video and how to solve multi-step problems video. So you would check off as you complete in this box here. So let's go ahead back to the course. And we're going to always go into destination lessons. Your course opens up in Dashboard, Your flight instructor, that's your teacher, and that will give her phone number and email and a picture of her and that sort of thing. But for now, because we're going to look at what a typical lesson would look like, we'll go into destination lessons. And in this case, it's the third quarter. Now, the week, the quarter can be laid out for you in advance, so you can go ahead and work at your own pace. Many students do get done early if they work at a good pace. Now, not all, so don't feel like you have to, but that freedom is there for you. So let's go into Math 3.1, which is the week we were just looking at that flight plan for, so it might help a little bit more. As you come into 3.1, you're going to see the POD, which is problem of the day. And the students get very used to this. This particular week must have only been 2 days. So we've got the problem of the day for Wednesday, the problem of the day for Thursday, excuse me, 3 days, the problem of the day for Friday. So the student would see the question there, work it out on paper, work it out in their head, and then pick the answer, and then they would click in here and submit the answer to the teacher. So that would happen. A lot of students will do this, all 3 of these problems in one day, one setting, but you can just work on them, the days that they actually ask for it. And the questions go along with what you're working on or using the skills that you've either used last week or this week. So these are the problems of the day, PODs. Then you might see in this particular lesson, the teacher is actually introducing something a little different and unique. She's wanting you to use the pencil tool in Paint. Every computer comes with Paint. And so she'll show you how to do that. She's got a little video here that she has created to show you how to open this up and use this for your particular lessons that you've got going up. So she will always put some sort of video. It's the teacher's recording, the teacher's voice generally, so the students get to know the teacher. I can tell you the 5th grade teacher has a very southern accent, so she's very sweet voice. So they definitely know her very well by her voice. So if that will be that assignment. And then she, in this case, has made a video to show and help how to make and analyze line graphs. So she's got the workbook in front of here, and I don't believe you can hear this, but I'll go ahead and push play so you can get an idea of what the video will look like, sound like. And she's talking about making and analyzing lawn graft. Okay, I can tell you that was not, I don't know if you're hearing that or not, but that was not the teacher's voice. That was another person who made the video. But that doesn't give you a good example. I don't know if you could hear that or not. But anyway, so she has 2 forms that you would open up there, and she shows you exactly how to use the line graph. So, and you work along in that work with her in that video. So here's another one, same sort of thing. Here's the beauty of the videos. You can replay them over and over and over until you get it, or if you have any questions, that sort of thing. So in this case, you've got 3 here. And then the teacher is going to ask for you to, test your knowledge. Excuse me, there was 4. Let's test your knowledge, or maybe get some extra practice if you didn't feel like you got that. And then the very last thing, usually for the week, is some sort of test. And that would be on there as well. So let's go into, this will give you another look at what the 5th grade math will be like in week 3.4. 3.4 gives you another kind of flavor for what a class would look like. So within 3.4, you're going to have the teacher actually teaches in front of a video camera and puts her information. So I don't know if you could have heard that or not, but she talks about what you previously learned, she introduces a concept, and then she will move on to, practice and showing you how to do that. So she puts these videos quite often, times inside here, to kind of help the student. And oftentimes she'll do them on the fly if students are having a hard time, she might send them a specific video that would help them out. So these are the videos that she's created to put in there. And each time she's got some questions in here. And this can be, this little icon here means it's either a test or a question to kind of test your knowledge on it. So she always puts those fun games for extra practice in there. And then at the end of the week, she's got a test. And that's what this icon means here. And here's the unique thing about this particular week. She's introduced a brand new website, Vocaroo, CVA Vocaroo, and she's asking you to watch this video to learn how to create an audio file for assignments. And she's asking for the test itself to make a audio recording explaining how to find the common denominator for the fractions 1/4 and 1/6. So oftentimes tests can be the written format, that PDF, where you would actually fill it, she sees your work, and then you complete it, or it can be done in the case of a project or project-based. So it's very unique in that respect. So let's hop over to another course very quickly. I'm on 11 minutes in this video. Did not expect to go that long, but you can tell we have lots and lots of unique things, and I don't want to miss anything so that you can get an idea of what a day in the life of a virtual student is. So I will go to grade 5 again, and let's go into science. So the science class looks very similar to the other one. You have your dashboard, you have your flight instructor, and your flight plan that opens up just like the others did. We'll go into destination lessons, and we'll go into third quarter. And let's just go into the first week here. And science introduces the concept, in this case they're talking about space or planets, and she's going to actually watch a video, and this video is inside Discovery Education, so she would click on there and watch the video. Inside Discovery Ed, she might even be asked a series of questions, and so that would test her knowledge there. There's a single sign-on piece here, so they don't have to sign on again inside here. This particular one goes into the solar system, and it's a amazing space lesson in an interactive card game. So she puts interactives in there as well. And then another video to watch on a scale model of the solar system. The reason why she's having you watch that is because later on you're testing there. She's going to test your knowledge by way of a scavenger hunt and taking a picture of a scale model. So there's some really unique things that that go on as far as testing. You'll see a lot more project-based stuff, but then you also might see the very traditional testing. So that helps you out as to what science might look like. Let's go into one of my favorites, and that's art. With art, what we try and do is make art relate to the other subjects for that particular week. So we'll go into CVA Art, grade 5. And art for that 3.1 week that we were just on has, science had to do with the space piece. So if we go into art for that 3.1, I think it was 3.1 we were working in. Oops, no it wasn't. Because that was a short week. So we'll go into 3.2. No, 3.3. But this will give you a good example too. So inside 3.2, this particular week is Celebrate Literacy Week for Florida. So she's asking that the students create, for their art assignment, a poster or an advertisement to encourage people to read. And then they're going to have this particular place right here to submit their assignment in it. And they are asked to do it in all different ways. They can make a digital poster, they can make an actual poster, that sort of thing to help. But let's go in real quick to go back to third quarter and 3.3. And I was talking to you earlier about the solar system. And so she's going to carry that theme into her art class. And we've got a particular program that you can find online. It's free, Tagxedo, and it is a really, really neat program. And she's going to ask the students, and she gives you a tutorial on how to use it. She's going to ask the students to go into that and create something like this. And the way Tagxedo works is you would put in a series of words, and it creates a word cloud for you. So it's using, of course, the word sun, and then it's asking for words that have to do with that. And really unique ways to get to do art. So oftentimes it's digital art, but oftentimes it's also, pen and paper in hands, and you can be free with the art pieces too. You can also call your teacher and say, instead of doing it in tuxedo, what I'd like to do is, do it in my own hand. I'm an artist and I would like to explore, my own work. So there's definitely some freedom in that respect. So one last place we will go, because we are now on 15 minutes in this video, and I did not intend to talk so long, so my apologies. So we'll go into CVA, 5th grade, and we will go into, well, let me just tell you this as we're looking at it. Language arts and reading are separated. Language arts deals with grammar and spelling, separates it that way. There's a traditional spelling list and ways to practice that and a test. And grammar is the same sort of way. Reading, there is a reading book, and you are given some of these books, but most of the books can be found online. So as you come into the class, it looks very traditional, very much like the other one. And you've got, the teacher will always put some sort of announcement there. So let's go real quickly into the reading destination lessons for the third 9 weeks. And here's what you'll find in the math and language arts and reading piece is the standards listed above. So you'll get an idea of what your student will be asked to do during that week. So let's go in. Remember, this is a short week. It's only 3 days. So you have a program called Ticket to Read that the students are asked to read on their level a story a day, and they earn points or tickets, and then they can decorate their clubhouse, and they all get a clubhouse. Really unique program, but it also motivates them to read more, certainly. And then their grade is based on how many stories they actually complete. So the student is actually graded on that, but more importantly, the student gets excited about decorating that clubhouse. So then you've got these goofy little characters that will show up every now and then that you push play, and they will carry on and teach you something about the lesson or talk to you, give directions, that sort of thing. And you can tell their eyeballs follow you, so it gives the kids something kind of fun to do and to look at, and it breaks up the class a little bit more. And then there's a vocabulary game this particular week, 1 and 2, and then they'll ask you to go build background knowledge. She'll ask you to actually go into the textbook, and this is how you would click on it. It opens up the actual textbook, and she's saying to watch the slideshow that's in this particular textbook, and you'll be asked to do some things. So, and then again, here's a making of a graphic novel, and then there's some actual reading that you will do this particular week. So that gives you an idea of what a typical week would look like in reading. Hopefully I have helped. That is reading. I've covered math, art, and science, and those are the basics to kind of give you an idea. We certainly also cover social studies. Social studies is another program that's similar, that pops the student out into to the textbook, the online textbook. So I hope this has helped in the day of a life of a virtual student at Clay Virtual Academy. Thank you.